Yo, what's up, everybody? It's your boy, 𝕬𝖎𝖚 and we're doing a reaction to Hogwarts Legacy character creation gameplay overview. They're showing more gameplay on it. Because I was going to say, I wanted to see more of the customization. So here we go. Let's get it.
A lot like other games, there's some initial settings that you can choose for your character that just kind of get them into like the ballpark of what you want to be, who you want to be, and what you want to change.
Oh man!
And then once you're in that ballpark, all the other tabs let you dial that in, be exactly who you want to be. It's our goal with this is to make sure that for anyone that fantasized about bringing themselves to the school for the very first time, that they feel like they have the options in order to represent who they are and essentially bring themselves to Hogwarts or whatever character they want to bring to Hogwarts.
Oh my God, and options galore. Do you mind if I try to put myself in here right quick?
It's all about you
Okay, all right. So, yeah, that's me. We're here, that's me right there. All right, so that's step one.
We're pretty close, but let's like...
I'm about to say, we got a deep job. Let's deep job.
Let's play around with some of these options.
Yeah, I want to see.
All right, so what are we looking at with this option over here with the tab? I see face stuff.
Skin
so
color.
a lot of the different faces that you saw in the previous screen, all those faces are choices that you have here. So you can, now you're just kind of getting into the details in your face shape, in your skin color. And then because we knew a lot of people going right in are going to want it right away, even though it's an option later in the game, you can collect different types of glasses, put them on later. We give you some options right up front if you want to have glasses for your character.
Oh, man. That's cool. Oh my gosh, look at the structure of the faces with this. Wow, you guys thought of every... I like that. I don't think my face is that skinny, but I think we'll go with that. I think we'll go that route. And down here is this...
Those are your glasses there,
Ooh.
Oh, so we started. We could go Harry Potter if you want. Awesome job. Oh man.
That's nice. I like that.
Of the options, I'm assuming.
Yeah. So through the course of the game, there's a lot of different options that you'll keep unlocking.
Okay.
So as part of.
All right. Let's see them eyes. I'm gonna customize them eyes, man.
Classes. There's even masks. There's all kinds of things.
You know your boy want to have them red eyes.
Victorian era, though.
Yeah. Right up front.
Such a good call. Such a good call. Oh my gosh. All right. So now, we can go fleek on this one with the hair.
I spend a lot of time here just like dreaming about my different characters. And
oh my gosh, the pony. The thing I'm always amazed by whenever I see any aspects of Hogwarts Legacy's character creator is just the texture. And like you even adding the bounce with the hair moving around. Cool. Yo, that kind of looks like Hermione a little bit. I'm not even gonna just I'm not afraid of. And we can just go, can I go like Tonks purple or green a little bit?
Absolutely.
Oh. Yo, this is so cool. Oh, I like that. That is cute. Oh, okay, so little behind the scenes, I used to have this type of hair like way back, but
was it purple?
I wanted silver tips, so that was the closest I got to any color. But oh my gosh, this is so cool. So you literally can bring yourself. Like it's a myriad of textures and different hairstyles here. All right, so now we're getting over here to play around with some of the...
These are more subtle.
Oh, okay, I see the eyes.
Freckles,
and eyebrows, okay.
Different things like
your boy about to, your boy about to be a vampire in that boy.
There's like some shading on the cheeks.
Oh man, you guys literally thought of everything with this.
I do have a bit of fun with that. And then the scars are one of those options where, Harry had his own unique scar, but you can come in with different scar options.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Look at that. I didn't even see that.
Those are my favorite. The eyebrow scars.
Yeah.
I love your eyebrows.
You look kind of
it's a classic.
Yeah, you look kind of just like tough. But anyway, so now we're over here. Oh man, you guys, this is so sick.
Oh yeah, we making me.
Again, getting more subtle here, really like dialing in that face to really get your...
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna play this game twice. One is me, and one is my waifu, for the Vampire Masquerade Swan Song. Woo! My waifu.
I don't know how reveal like I want to be with my facial features now. Just like, yeah, I kind of have a big face. Yeah, my eyebrows.
I'm trying to get used to doing that, but I didn't do much for that's what I'm gonna do when I get I'm gonna start doing that more often. Like when I play games, is like to try to create. Or no, I'm not gonna try, but I am gonna create myself. If I don't create myself, then I'll create who's my vampire waifu, in the game. So like when I get the AEW game, I'll create both of us. When I get the WWE 23, WWE 2K23, and I do the story mode, I'll create both of us. And then in Hogwarts Legacy, I'm gonna create both of us.
That's it, kind of low. But I mean, literally, you have so many options just starting the game. I feel like I'm going to be here like forever.
You and me both.
And then this final tab here, this is where you kind of bring your whole character together. You know, this is where you finalize everything.
Voice.
You're not choosing your house here.
Okay.
That's not yet.
That was a theory.
Name and and you can put your name
here's
and
where
last
you bring,
name.
you choose voice 1 or voice 2, which is more kind of a masculine or a feminine voice. And then even within that, changing your pitch, the pitch slider.
It's a subtle slider, but
Yeah.
but you can hear it,
Concerned about. That was quite something.
and so you can kind of make out the differences. But yeah, you choose which kind of voice that you want. You'll be selecting your difficulty here. For today, we'll just go normal because Andrew's going to be taking us through some of the experiences with combat later.
And we can talk a little more about difficulty, yeah, with combat and how that plays in.
That
But I
is
think
might be
the
a
important
witch
thing here
or
is
a
like
wizard.
if for people who aren't gamers, especially,
Right.
story mode is a way to get into this without being worried about like, oh, do I need to be good at games? Like, no, just enjoy this game.
And I will put expecto and then go. We're good. We're good. Awesome.
And then whether you want to be witch or wizard.
Ooh.
What did you think?
Well, yeah, I definitely gonna play this, man. I'm definitely gonna play this. Let me know your thoughts. They got 2 more videos. I was thinking about breaking them up in 3 pieces and then merge them all together because there's more. So you know what? I might just where I'm at. I'm at 7 minutes right now. You know what? Let's just say fuck it.
Great teams form around great leaders. Leaders that inspire those around them to step up and find that perfect moment to strike.
Stylish outside, savage inside. Lenovo Legion.
We just watch all of them.
Who's got some gameplay pulled up for us here? We are starting out, James. There you are. You're wearing the House Fanatic robes from the account linking.
Thank you. I do look good. And this is our first look at the Hufflepuff common room, I'm assuming. I mean, dorm room.
Dorm room.
Yeah. This is awesome. But Alan, what are we seeing right here with the UI? Because this is our first look.
Yeah. So right now, we know there's been a lot of questions about the HUD because this is the first time we're showing it. So kind of going over it from right to left, on the bottom right is what we call our spell diamond.
Oh, nice side.
So those are, everything that you see in it are slottable spells. So we have over 20 slottable spells that you can earn over the course of the game.
Okay.
And that's where the player can place them and use them and access them very quickly. To the top left of that is, you'll see the D-pad, and on the left is an eyeball, and on the right is a bit of a grid. So the eyeball is an example of one of, not a slottable spell, but what we call an essential spell. There are certain spells that are used in very specific contexts, or that we just want on the controller at all times. And 𝕬𝖆𝖚 is one of those. That's left on the D-pad. On the right on the D-pad is that grid represents where you might slot spells. And so right now, today, we're not going to be going into the spell slotting menu because we feel like there's a lot of spoilers there. You know, like what are all the spells and what can we do?
I would like spoilers, but I understand.
But we do want to make sure there's still some goodies left to share with everyone. And then on the left side, that thing that has the L1 button next to it, that's another thing where we don't want to spoil, but basically that's where you access your tool wheel. So there's a lot of magical tools that you're going to be kind of brewing.
I want to know, does I think the picture does move, like, you know, in that school, since it's witches and wizards, I think like the pictures and stuff and the background move around. I think the picture moved. I'm gonna start looking at our pictures.
And so that's where you would access them rapidly is our tool wheel.
Okay, cool.
There are a few things that I left off the table on the right. The green bar is your health, and basically there's a potion next to it. That's how you might heal. The bar above it.
Oh, the pictures do move.
I apologize.
The pictures do move.
And all the way on the left is our mini map with a kind of overhead view of where you are currently in your common room that updates as you travel through Hogwarts and beyond out into the world.
Bro,
and for those,
the details
those
and
fans
all
out there that
there.
aren't a huge fan of mini maps because we know they exist, there's also options to remove the mini map and turn on or off different elements of our HUD.
Really immerse yourself. Yeah.
And we'll go more into the spells as we get into combat, but that's kind of that's what you're seeing there. And this is our HUD.
Also, Andrew's giving us a good look over here. I want to call out. I'm a big fan of the bedside tables in the dormitories. Very nice bedside tables.
They are nice bedside tables.
Yeah.
The honey-colored wood was mentioned in the writing. It's part of lore.
It's part of lore. There we go. All right.
So now we're walking out into.
We really tried making these low-ceilinged dorms to give you that Badger set sort of feel.
The first thing I know is the music. The score is amazing with this.
And I'm calling out here, this is unique music that you're hearing for the Hufflepuff Common Room. Go back to those Common Room videos we released, you'll notice the music's a little bit different, and that is entirely intentional.
But I like this.
We just want to welcome you.
I like
Common
the
Room.
details from the face expressions to the rooms to even the sound effects of you walking, of your stump sound.
In every single house, just a little bit differently. So you can customize that experience right away.
Oh my
Look
God!
at the painting moving.
Look at that.
So I mean, beautiful design. We could spend like the entire rest of the stream just in the Common Room here and talking about it, and I'm sure Boston and James could be like just geeking out over it.
All
Look,
the
the cactus is moving.
Writings for this common room. The round doors, the hanging vines, even the dancing badgers on the fireplace.
It's got a real earthy vibe.
Yeah.
It's very, very earthy.
Which is like elements for each of the houses, right? Like
Hufflepuff is earth, Ravenclaw's air, Gryffindor is fire, and Slytherin is water. We really leaned into that for each common room.
Wow.
So it feels earthy. We've got a little earthen passageway. That's what we were. Hopefully, it should feel very familiar.
Yeah, it does. It does.
But I know you don't want to leave, but we're gonna be leaving.
Thank you. I understand. Whoa, the sound effects though. Like, looking back at the past trailers, it was just music, but kind of hearing how Hogwarts is now, it's so cool.
It's tactile.
Yeah.
Andrew's going to make use of one of our spells, 𝕬𝖆𝖚.
Use 𝕬𝖆𝖚 right here, because there's a little magic going on.
You notice a little something there. Yeah. So these are something that we kind of interchangeably call 𝕬𝖚𝖚 pages or lore pages. And you'll notice a bunch of things pop up on the screen.
Yeah.
You see that we got some
XP.
XP for it. And you can also see that we've advanced something called like a field guide challenge up in the corner. So I want to talk about that a little bit. So we had to ask ourselves, what?
Continue, I'm sorry. Continue.
There may be something you may or may not be able to tickle there.
Yeah.
But in our game, we had to answer the question, we're a late fifth year. What does that mean? How do we catch up to the other students?
Okay.
And so we have an answer to that question, and it's given to you by the staff. So there's something that we call the Wizard's Field Guide that's granted to you early on in the game. And the Wizard's Field Guide is how you actually work on catching up with the other students. So Andrew, if you hit pause for me up here, before we push forward a little bit, you can see in our pause menu, it's got this book theme.
Wow.
That's your Wizard's Field Guide. And you can see your house kind of crest overlaid over it.
Okay,
right? And you can see that on your level as well. So that the field guide has this magical property of looking out into the world around you. And the reason why it's on loan from the Ministry of Magic and the professors have granted it to you as a late fifth year student is because they want it to help you catch up to the other kids. And its magical property is to discover different opportunities to learn and grow all around you. So the way it works is, as you discover gameplay in the game, it actually recognizes that as a challenge, which is kind of locked into there. And Andrew, if you go in there, you'll see different types of challenges that are combat challenges, quest challenges, exploration challenges. And you can see field guide pages are on there as well.
Yeah.
1%. We unlock that one field guide page.
That entire category is one of the ways that the book itself kind of fills out into the school and spills out into the school and kind of hides itself with different types of challenges and different things to do around the school that you're actually going to interact with to help you grow as a wizard and practice your spells. And so that thing that we just saw is not just a field guide challenge and a way to earn XP. It's also something that that players can use to learn about the school as they're traveling around. They spot these little secret facts and they can kind of play a little bit of a game discovering all of them. And there are over 100 field guide pages just in Hogwarts alone.
Wow. Little glimpse of the grand staircase here. We're not gonna...
Circular staircase.
All the portraits.
Yeah.
And I did notice the blue flame just ignite right there, which was so cool.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Fast travel points there. House hourglasses. We had to. How much fun was it designing those and putting all those in there?
They're gorgeous, but that they're there just like in the books.
Yes.
Right next to the Great Hall.
It's a nod to lore. House points is not a core mechanic or system in the game.
We didn't turn it into like a gameplay system, but it's definitely present throughout our narrative. And there are lots of choices where we want to nod to things that aren't necessarily gameplay systems, but we nod to them as part of the narrative.
Over to the right there, Andrew was teasing. That's the Great Hall over through those doors. Again, we're not going there. He's just kind of like, no.
Cool.
Here's another collectible page. You know, just again showing you like just these things around Hogwarts that you can do and pick up and.
That's a shot straight from the trailer too. Just that part right there. I recognize that.
We might be giving you a little fan service here with callbacks to those. So,
and this must be summertime because I noticed these are the summertime windows. These windows will change.
Oh yeah, I forgot the seasons do change.
I get surprised by it all the time.
It's a sentient magic castle. So.
Oh man, and we're going out. Look at that.
This is where the students would normally kind of congregate, just to kind of chill out, play, meet each other outside the Great Hall before and after meals.
Look at that red and black cloak. Ooh, yeah.
And I love the way that when the castle interconnects to, that it interconnects outside, inside. There are pathways on both sides of things, so you really get a sense of scope to how big this castle is.
And when you see things, like you'll notice a bridge over there, that's a place you can go to and cross. Like everything that you see is a place that you can visit.
Ooh.
Wow.
We put a lot of effort into making it feel really alive. Not just with student population, but even just the greenery and stuff. It's Scotland.
Yeah.
And this castle's been here for hundreds of years, so it just kind of the moss and all the trees that have overgrown it, and
oh my gosh,
that landscape, that Scottish.
This location might look a little familiar to you.
I thought I recognized it. I believe this is from the spring ASMR, and yes, so that puzzle right there, that view, Andrew is taking us right back to that.
I'm going to tell Andrew not to interact with that puzzle and to keep moving on. We can't spoil
I don't know if you can fly.
Everything, right?
Yeah, you probably do going to eventually get the habit where you can fly around the town and stuff, basically. I can't wait for that part.
Oh my god.
But this is this grand entryway right here coming down into a really kind of central area.
Yeah, we're coming upon the central hall, and we pointed out the greenhouse outside, and we'll notice when we get down there that it's on the right.
This is a big hub of the school. Like it's a big castle, but it is designed so you shouldn't get very lost. This is kind of a grand central station.
I love that.
Each direction, it's green over there, so the greenhouse is over there. Transfiguration courtyard, the library straight ahead. So it's kind of the hub of a lot of the castle.
Even the color, visually, you can just tell, okay, green,
greenhouse. That way.
Oh my god.
A lot of it'll be subconscious, but it'll help you really learn the castle and feel like you know your way around.
That's not to say that it's easy to learn. All of us here still get pretty lost in it on a daily basis. It's a castle.
Great point.
I love that Andrew's definitely teasing a lot of things here. I'm noticing he's swinging the camera this way and that.
Yeah.
He's got this grin on his face over there that's just like, yeah, I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm
from the reveal trailer. There's that dragon. Oh my god.
This is another location where the students will gather, you know, and just kind of chill out.
And an opportunity to talk to somebody, get a quest giver here.
Is everything all right?
Yes, I'm sorry. I'm Nellie, by the way. I'm just so excited that the 𝕿𝖎𝖙 keys are back.
The what keys?
The 𝕿𝖎𝖙 keys. Surely you've seen them flying about. Rumour is that a former headmistress, Professor Moll,
I think that's Slytherin with the red and black cloaks.
conjured them to protect the contents of certain locked cabinets years ago. Professor Black couldn't be bothered to disenchant the keys, and they appear every few years. You should try to catch one.
Why would I do that?
Each key will lead you to a locked cabinet somewhere in the castle. If you can manage to get the key into the cabinet lock, not an easy task, you may find a reward.
Ooh, and you can enter one.
Perhaps I'll give it a go.
I hope you do. In fact, I think I heard one of the keys in the astronomy tower. You should listen for them.
So kind of side quests are really, it's a cool way to interact with your fellow students, with perhaps other teachers, with, you know, various things like that, as well as teach you some more of the secrets of Hogwarts, I think. There's a little bit of that.
Absolutely. Yeah. So the students are a way to kind of like flesh out the school opportunities around it, what we can do. And then those interactions, different interactions with different characters can also offer different choice points for the player. And then some of those things can affect things game-wide. Some of these affect characters' lives, the ending of the game.
And sometimes it's just about you being a little bit of a nice guy or just being a jerk.
Yes, absolutely. So the scale really varies, but those opportunities exist for the player.
Wow, look at this.
This is the Dada Defense Against the Dark Arts.
You can switch the colors of your cloaks. That's the thing I want to know. Like, if you keep, like, if I go Slytherin, if I go like this, I don't know which group this is he got on. I think you can switch the colors because I think that's a different color. That's gray and silver. I mean, gray and gold. So I'm thinking you can have the logo on the outfit and switch the color. If that's the case, ooh, your boy about to go. Your boy about to switch colors. You know, I'm having that black and red all the way, baby.
Tower, which this is one of my favorite locations in the castle. Just visually, you come in here and just the richness of this area
is very iconic, very unique to anywhere else. Else in the castle.
Somebody else that we can talk to, notably a younger student.
Yeah, she looks like a first year or an 11-year-old.
Are you all right?
Don't you know who I am? 𝕬𝖆𝖈𝖎𝖏𝖏, the girl whom everyone at school hates for no reason.
Everyone hates you. Why?
Because Hogwarts is full of bullies and spoil sports. Leander Pruitt's one of the worst, that no-talent moon mind. I wanted to make some new friends, and so I brought my collection down to the common room. My gobstone collection, that is. I was hoping someone would want to play. Are you familiar with gobstones? Little balls, like marbles. Grand game. And if you lose, they spray you with a foul-smelling liquid.
I haven't much interest in a game that sprays you with odors.
Only if you lose, which I never do. Or at least, not often. People can be so cruel. Just because they're sprayed all over with smelly gobstone spit, it's their own fault for losing. Imelda is one of the worst losers. Everett and Astoria are terrible as well. And now those poor losers have taken my gobstones and hidden them in very high places all over the school.
Sounds as if you caused the smelly situation and they responded accordingly.
I didn't make the rules. Anyway, I can't work out how to get them back on my own. I don't think I know the necessary spells yet. I need someone, perhaps a selfless and talented 5th year to help me.
I'll see what I can do.
I'd appreciate the help. If you do find all of my gobstones, do come and see me again. I'll be back to playing Snake Pit and Jackstone by myself in no time.
I love that interaction with her because there's so many ways that you can go with that. You can you can feel for her. You can be a jerk to her. You can be like, gobstone sounds awful. It sounds like you're just mean.
Yeah, and your opportunities to be mean there aren't over. So,
they continue.
That's a good example of the
gobstones too. I know people are gonna ask, gobstones playable? They mentioned it, right?
Yeah. Gobstones is one of the things that is not playable in the game. I know we've had to rip the Band-Aid off on a few things. Honestly, it's an amazing thing on the franchise how many things about this speak to us as fans and that we want to turn into gameplay. And there were calls that we had to make over the course of production of kind of like which things we will and won't include in the bucket, just kind of for the overall
Wizard's chest.
Yeah. Those are things that aren't featured.
Yeah. They're featured within the world. Right?
I'm glad they're mentioned. They're a part of the wizarding world.
Yeah. Every single time there was something that we regretted because we couldn't include it. We also tried to figure out a way to make sure that it was included in the narrative, included in the stories, make sure that there's a way to kind of like acknowledge it, touch it, and make it feel like it's definitely part of the world.
And I know here too, we're like,
I was like, we're in the Defense Against the Dark Arts class. I recognize that staircase to the left where we were just at. Andrew was walking by. I also recognize the dragon at the very top. Oh my gosh.
Being in a classroom, I think this is a good opportunity to talk about how classes work, because we've gotten a lot of questions about that. Is it a schedule-based system? Is it so tell us how classes work?
Yeah, so ultimately decided not to go the sim route. So I think like one of the speculations was, is there time of day and that kind of thing. Like, can I miss class at this time of day?
There is a day-night cycle.
Yeah, there is a day-night cycle, but everything is very narrative-based, and so there's a big mystery going on in the world. There's something happening in the narrative, and we essentially see it as kind of like chapters in that narrative. Each chapter of which has a set of missions that you can choose between as you're progressing through the game, and classes fit within that structure. So there are mainline things that the players have to do, and then classes also appear on the sides as well as optional things that help you advance your spells. It's absolutely true that classes provide all of your major tools throughout the gameplay, your spells, your major abilities. You get to know the professors. Each one of them has these bespoke kind of events and moments in those missions. And then there are also additional opportunities outside of that through kind of like side classroom missions, essentially, where you can learn additional spells or things that you need in your adventure and also get to know the professors better.
And I just want to call out something that Andrew's been kind of showing off, ways to kind of interact with the environment and just engage with the world. And, maybe down there he's sipping some tea with the
Victorian high,
high society.
High society.
I just no wonder you like this area because we built it for like the purebloods and the Slytherins.
Oh, come on.
Well, like, speaking of lived in, like, the sound effects, again, the chatter of the communication that's happening and the footsteps, like, it just makes it feel more alive.
Little events like that, the brooms going by
I just saw
overhead.
a broom go by. Love that. The data tower was one example, but no two hallways should look the same in Hogwarts. It has a lot of personality. Every hallway should be a little bit different, and that's mostly to help orient the player.
Right.
Help you not get lost. But this is Hesperus Hall. That's a little nod from the Marauders, a name that came from the Marauders map. But every hallway will have a little bit of a different personality. And
personality, I like that, because it does, like, Hogwarts has character. Hogwarts is its own character no matter where you go.
Yeah.
Feels just a little bit different.
Yeah.
It's a sentient castle full of magic for hundreds of years. It's going to kind of grow and develop. I heard something.
Yeah. Speaking of characters.
Speaking of magic, Mr. Magic himself.
My future poltergeist too.
We talked about building on lore too. I know there's that statue over to the side.
Do you know who that is?
𝕬𝖎𝖙 the Lanky, and he's got his Bowtruckle friend. And I think if players don't know, there's another 𝕬𝖆𝖚𝖙 page there.
Yeah, there's a map of Argyllshire. We know the fat lady. hides there.
Hides behind it. That's right.
The third book. But sometimes a hallway has personality by how it looks, or we just passed a music hallway where the
Wands, which is the secret, not so secret dueling club is that the students have put together. Professors definitely know about it, but they think they're being clever. And it's run by this 𝕬𝖎𝖚 𝕬𝖚 here.
Who's in a younger year, but we kind of like that that he's running things.
Hello, Lucan. May I use the training dummy?
Of course. I'll fetch it and give you a list of combinations to practice. Ready to have a try now?
That would be wonderful.
Be sure to cast all your spells before the dummy lands. If you need to stop practicing before you finish all of them, let me know.
And this is a really good opportunity to now jump into combat, because really in the game, this is going to be the first time where you yourself get to learn about combat and combos in a big way and in a new way. For me personally, this was where the game like really starts to open up to the possibilities.
Yeah. So we've set up a training dummy, and this is kind of an activity where you're supposed to execute according to kind of the iconography on the top. Now, what we see on the top is the 𝖁𝖆𝖚 spell, followed by 4 what we just kind of lovingly refer to as basic shots. There's certain spells what the wizards kind of like use, just kind of fling. Andrew's using one now. And you trigger that by tapping R2 on your controller. So you can see in the corner R2. So if you tap R2, that throws out a basic shot. But that R2 is also your gateway to all of the spells that you might slot. So if you hold R2 instead, you can see how the diamond expands. And if we let go, you see how it contracts.
Yeah.
And so if you hold it again, it expands. And so when it expands, then all the spells that you slotted while you're holding that button can now be tapped with your face buttons.
Awesome.
And not only that, but over the course of the game, you can gain additional spell diamonds, up to 4 additional ones, so that you can slot up to 16 spells, pretty much instantly. And then that helped us fulfill the fantasy of in combat, I need to be able to access things very rapidly.
Yeah.
And so you learn over the course of these events, how to juggle not just the spell casting, but also it reinforces an understanding of another feature of the wheel, which is their cooldowns. So as you're casting spells, just to make sure that you're not just kind of like repeatedly using one thing over and over and over again, you can see cooldowns on the spells that he's using on the wheel. And then as you progress through the game, there are different things that can affect things like cooldowns through your talents, different things that allow you to kind of like juggle and adjust and update those things. And so if you hold down R2 and you tap the D-pad, it will switch between your other diamonds if you've unlocked them, and that's how you access all those.
Oh man, it looks like we're about to get some action over here.
Yeah. So this is a great way to kind of learn how to pull things together,
so you
pull those combos
right
together.
Here. Yeah. Tap, 𝖁𝖆𝖚, tap, tap, tap. Awesome.
Well done,
Andrew.
And that's just against the dummy, but I mean...
I'd say that's enough practice. You looked good out there.
Thank you, Lucan.
I say better to discover one's weaknesses during practice than during a duel. You'll be a fearsome challenger now.
I think now we can take on something a little more challenging. It's going to shoot back.
Now let's talk about some more features of the combat system.
Hello, Lucan. Is the next round of Crossed Wands all set?
Why, yes it is. I've got a great match lined up. Ready for another round?
We're on a PS5 dev kit here, so we're going to be able to kind of pause the action and talk about what you're seeing on the screen, because there's about to be a lot going on. All right, here you can select if you want to fight with somebody else, some of your classmates. But in this case, we're not. We want that action to feel a little more frantic towards you to really get you that sense of combat.
Easy.
So apparently you've got quite the reputation, because they've got you up against 3 people.
Off the jump.
What about the guy?
So I can explain this just because I know people are going to go into it, but we can probably just kind of jump in. You're not the only one that has Protego and the ability to select enemies boost you. and we actually play with that when it comes to the spell casting. So you notice that there are different colored kind of shields around the different characters, and you also notice that your spells have different colors on them. So to help players understand kind of like the function of their spells, we kind of put them into brackets. So there are damage spells, there are force spells, there are, I'm forgetting the other one all of a sudden, control spells. And so those things for the player, they wind up also being a color indicator for which actual spell to use to break the different shields that enemies can use. That way it rewards kind of like that close attention that you're paying on things.
We've got this paused here now, and you can kind of see all the elements on the screen, the halo around the avatar's head, each of the different shields, to kind of give us a breakdown of what's going on.
Give us a breakdown of different things that you're saying. So you notice at the top that we're kind of like calling out which enemy you currently have targeted and their level and health. And so, you know, as you target different characters, you'll be able to get that breakdown. The halo over your head, whenever an enemy is about to an attack, it's almost like you have a little bit of a sixth sense for those things that are coming. If you see the halo, it means there's an incoming attack, and if you tap the triangle button by default, then that you'll be able to deflect that attack that comes in and off with your take.
And I love that deflect where it goes off and like hits things up and kind of breaks things off walls too.
But also, if you hold the button, then it doesn't just deflect. It also deflects and turns around with a counter attack stupefy that actually stuns the enemy. And you can use that even in your combos and stuff. So if you're focused on a character, you know, and you're doing your thing, and someone else attacks you, you can actually turn that attack into a direct attack on the person that you're comboing.
Back into gameplay here. Andrew's gonna pretty handily finish these other students off here, win this duel.
How fast it is. It's like a dance.
Yeah, we really felt like in the movies, there's almost like a, it's kind of like there's this element of kind of like fencing from a very great distance.
That's a good call.
And there are a lot of things that we had to do with our controls and combat system in order to kind of capitalize on that idea that's pretty unique to the Wizarding world.
Yes. Well, perhaps you should try that next time. The other duelists have already taken notice of you, but after that last round, they'll really have it in for you. You'd better keep practicing if you want a chance at winning, or at least surviving the next round. I'll let you know when we're ready. Hope to see you then.
The long-awaited trailer for HBO Max's The Last of Us has finally arrived, and with it comes our first in-depth glimpse at not just Joel and Ellie, but of the world itself. The trailer isn't heavy in story details and is mostly accompanied by music with small excerpts from what to expect from the show. Luckily, the show seems to be taking heavy inspiration from its source material. So with that, we figured it's high time to break the trailer down and point out all its similarities. Here's every video game reference and Easter egg we spotted in The Last of Us premiere trailer.
The roses have faded, there's frost at my door.
First off is the song itself. The entire trailer is laid over top Hank Williams' Alone and Forsaken. The song is actually heard playing from the tape that Ellie swiped from Bill's as Joel and Ellie drive a truck through Pittsburgh before being ambushed by hunters.
Screw it.
Anyone who's even the tiniest bit familiar with The Last of Us will recognize the infamous Firefly symbol being painted over here. Seeing that the Fireflies are a revolutionary militia group, their words and symbols pop up quite a bit in The Last of Us. Just a few seconds later, we see the words "when you're lost in the darkness" sprawled on the wall. Taken from the full Firefly quote, "Remember, when you're lost in the darkness, look for the light. Believe in the Fireflies." Here we get an excellent shot of Joel's broken watch. If you played the first 20 minutes or so of the original game, you'll know it opens with Joel's daughter, Sarah Miller, gifting him the watch. Of course, Sarah doesn't make it through Outbreak Day, and the watch is damaged because of this encounter. We get a quick glimpse of someone in a pair of copper shoes pinned up, which reminds us of a later section of the game where Ellie is being held captive